What's up, boys and girls and whatever else you are? Today, in honor of Halloween, we are going to be taking a look at some of the greatest literary masterpieces the internet has to offer. That's right. We are going to be reading Animal Jam stories. I'll be honest, I was a little inspired by Izzy's new Animal Jam deep dive. But I too played Animal Jam back in the day. I too would roleplay. I too would try to break the ice. I too was scared by the concept of a wolf with fur darker than you could pick for your character. And I too begged my parents for a membership so I could get an Arctic fox. So today, because something horrible has been unlocked in me that I have not experienced since I was 12 years old, today we are going to be returning to our past, our collective past. A gym of the Gen Z generation. We are going to be returning to Animal Jam in the best possible way. Creepypastas made by children. So today we're going to be starting with The Lost Jammer, really an iconic one that we all know, but how well do we really know the story? Now, some of these I'm going to be reading on the Wildworks writing wiki, which is like an official Animal Jam fandom site. I don't know how reliable it is, but I don't really care that much. So let's begin. Boy, can you stop? You are so distracting, dog. Stop it. Dude, what the hell? Stop! Get out. Play with this. Play with this or something. You better stop. The story. It has been 2 years. Cats! Go! Jesus. The story. It had been 2 years since the F-Man rumors began on Animal Jam. Jammers had been about their business for quite some time without fear of getting hacked, minus the occasional fake F-Man users popping up around Jama. Some could say that jammers were bored of everyday life on Animal Jam. There wasn't anything exciting or new to discover. The game had gotten old for some experienced users. Suddenly, in late May 2015, everything changed. New rumors had started. I was very confused as all of my buddies told me slightly different stories about the new F-Man. Some claimed he was formerly a regular jammer who was scammed and then devoted the rest of his life to hacking Animal Jam to obtain account information. Others said he was an AJ staff member who was fired and used inside information to access others' accounts. I couldn't tell what was real and what was fake. All I knew for sure was that someone was taking F-Man's place as the most feared AJ player, and that someone had become known as the Lost Jammer. Everyone in Jamal Township knew about the Lost Jammer, but not a single person seemed to know his username. Oh, I've heard that he has night black fur, like darker than you can choose, said one Arctic wolf. Doesn't he have really small eyes, recalled another user. After asking every member in the room, a normal-looking non-member Seal approached me. I know the name of the Lost Jammer, he said. I thought he was joking until he said, Decompose 1. I searched up the username and there it was. A user tag depicting a non-member, dark black wolf with beady eyes. Instantly, I checked to see if the user's den was unlocked. It was. I clicked on the den button and waited anxiously. An hour seemed to pass before I actually got into the den. Although, it probably only took a few seconds. As usual, the den was a small house. Not a single item was in the den except for a singular orange mat in the center of the floor. I took a few screenshots and saved them to my hard drive, but I didn't think they could be of any real use. I checked the user tag once more. The wolf didn't look too different from any random non-member. I started to think that the seal gave me a fake username until I noticed the wolf's name. Awesome Sunny Brave. The exact same name as that of F-Man 122's wolf. It couldn't be a coincidence, even though the two wolves looked completely different. I then realized that the user might not be a new F-Man. Instead, it was possible that the account owner was F-Man 122, the story that even AJHQ condemned. You cannot type F-Man's name in chat. Shocked at my discovery, I sent jamograms to the famous jammers I knew, hoping that they would cover the Lost Jammer story in a video or blog post. Julian 2, Pepper, Generally AJ, Alec, Petal, Snowy Claw. The world had to know. After I had clicked send on the last jamogram, I thought about the user behind Decompose 1. It could be a sick joke, I realized. Maybe it's all fake. The seal could have been set up by Decompose 1 himself. It was very possible that it was a complete hoax. Disappointed, I was about to sign out when I got a jamogram. This from a user I had never heard of, Cody2405. It read, "Come to my den for answers." I did as the letter instructed and entered Cody's. And I did as the letter instructed and entered Cody2405's den. Inside was a penguin dressed in an orange spiked collar. This is ridiculous, I thought. The penguin told me, set up 3 tiki torches on top of a standard AJ sewer cover in your den. That's how you'll summon That's how you'll summon him. Confused, I asked, do you mean the Lost Jammer? He responded, I believe you know his username already. That's who I mean, alright. I left his den to do as he asked. Fortunately, I happened to have the items I needed to summon the jammer. I set the torches up, creating a circle around the sewer cover. I waited for something to happen, but nothing did. Summoning a jammer. How stupid. I should have known this was fake, I told myself. I typed in the Lost Jammer's username to report him to AJHQ when I noticed the lit up trade and game button. The Lost Jammer was on. Maybe the Lost Jammer really did come on because of the items I placed. It's possible that he's a hacker who can see the items placed in every den. And this particular combination does something that requires him to log on, I wondered. I entered Decompose 1's den, and sure enough, he was there. Strangely, the orange mat that was there earlier was gone. In its place sat the Black Wolf himself, looking as if he was waiting for something. I waited too, for something to occur. After 5 minutes or so of no speaking, another jammer entered the den. I tried to click on this jammer's name, but it wasn't working. The color seemed off, too. It seemed more faded than a regular name tag. I blinked and looked at the jammer again. They looked very faded, as if they were somewhat transparent. I didn't think anything of it, because the new jammer's transparency was most likely a glitch and nothing to be afraid of. The Lost Jammer finally spoke. I, too, can become transparent. I read from the speech bubble. That's odd, I thought, noting that you cannot type tildes in chat. And just like that, the Lost Jammer was gone. He really did become transparent. Next up, an even spookier story. The Ice. This one's also from WildWorks Wiki. I think we all remember the iceberg that supposedly if you jumped on, you would get lifetime membership or special items, etc., 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 whatever. And we'd all try. I don't know if anybody else broke the ice, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. I remember we'd get so many people on at once to try to break the ice. Never worked. But I digress. This is a story about what happens when the ice breaks. Let's find out. It was a normal day in Animal Jam. I logged on and started dancing in Jamba Township saying, "Break the ice and go to Mount Shiver!" Then out of nowhere, a wolf came beside me. He was a normal colored wolf, but he had a gold name tag with the name Greeley. He protested. Stop! You can't do this! I ignored him and went to visit the animals in Mount Shiver. A few alphas were watching, along with Greeley. He covered his eyes and whispered everyone's computer speakers. He covered his eyes and whispered through everyone's computer speakers. This is a fatal mistake you are all making. The ice started shattering into more little bits, this time more than it ever cracked before. A few animals screamed as they ran off. A fox with the name Count Major Claw fell in along with his pet cheetah. My jammer somehow grabbed his paw and pulled him out, and the ice below my jammer's feet shaked violently. My animal pulled Count Major Claw into the normal snow as all the animals on the ice fell in, making a large splashing sound. The room changed to a water room, which was a waiting room to let the real room load. A hyena named Flora Icy Toes said, I'm gonna drown, she said. Many jammers laughed with the animated laugh emotion only for members, as non-members just said, haha, in the chat box, but many animals were turning blue. No, purple! They were drowning. But then all the animals floated down into a mirror-like ground as everyone sank through it. And there was a shop-like room which had lots of cool stuff in it. Luckily, everything was free, so I went onto a shopping spree. There was free membership givers, rares, betas, plushies, furniture, and dins. I looked in one of the clothing shop areas, and at the end was a banned item, which was said to look inappropriate on pandas. Scullies. I was amazed. I bought one and looked at my clothing list. I had bought so many rares, but then we were pulled into a void. Many animals screamed as we were sent to Jama Township, but it was empty, and blood was everywhere. There were eyeballs, internal organs, crystal impaled alphas. But the creepy part was that it was more realistic than your average pixels. Greeley, one of the dead alphas, looked up at his eternal organs and said, I warned you. To all the jammers. The jammers were stuck there as Count Major Claw ran into Jama Township, his animal watching in horror. Count Major Claw encouraged all the animals to go into the ditch he was watching from. I didn't go, as even F-Man 122 ran into the ditch. He said he took a break from hacking today. My animals screamed greedily. My animal screamed as Greeley got up to his paws as blood dripped from his torn stomach. His eyes were pitch black with a tiny red iris. The eyes were dripping black blood as I screamed as well. The other jammers watched in horror. Greeley tore my animal's head off as blood-red pixels came rushing from the neck. Greeley looked at me through the screen and I felt breathing on my neck. My heart pounded fast, sending a message to my brain saying, don't turn around. Then the next thing I knew was that my headphones were pulled off and thrown at the floor. Someone whispered in my ear, don't break the ice. Not even once. Period. To be continued. Author's notes. Wow, I can't believe I made a creepypasta and it turned out to be good. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Confidence is important. I can't believe this is my first Animal Jam creepypasta, as I love reading these stories. That's nice. Someone gave them, like, genuine criticism on it. That's pretty cute. Really appreciate that. Our next story is called Animal Jam Creepypastas by X Shatter Me X on fanfiction.net. So, you know, I'm sure it's gonna be great. This is Animal Jam, not one. I could not find Animal Jam because it's not a category. This is a series of AJ Creepypasta one-shots. So, we got a series on our hands here, boys. There's once a jammer by the name of Gone Till Dawn. They seemed like an ordinary member. Non-members feared Gone Till Dawn. Members hated the other member. Why? Well, Gone Till Dawn had an Arctic wolf that they always used. Or at least, That's what those who see her say. Everyone only sees her once, and then they go missing a few days later. The information we have on her is that she's royal blue and yellow with bright female eyes. Okay. She wears a red, long, spiked collar and a red, long, spiked wristband. This member also wears a red horn and red gazelle horns. Her markings are the sort of paint splatter look, and naturally they're red, of course. We know one jammer who has seen her. This jammer is called Sighting. Sighting is covered in scars from his fight with Gone Till Dawn. His health is slowly declining, but he knows the story of Gone Till Dawn. Here's the entry from the journal he brought back with him. It all began on a swarmy night. I was alone, laying on the cold ground of Jama Township. My worn blanket did little good to keep me warm, as my spikes dug into the ground. My gazelle horns didn't bother me much. Jammers passed, spotting me, laughing at me. I'm done with their stares and laughs. The next jammer came by and threw a stone at me. I caught it in my mouth and swung my head towards them, and opened my jaws to fling it back, just as they had. The unsuspecting jammer yelped and growled at me. I could see its yellow stare, those angry, slanted eyes. I knew it was a wolf because of the position of the eyes, lower than other animals, and the growl sounded like it came from a long snout. Even through the dark of night, I knew the angry glare of glowing eyes was coming closer. What am I to do? I narrowed my eyes and lowered my head, pawing at the ground, and just as I knew they were about to jump, I ran forwards. My gazelle horns found their target better than expected, right through the heart. I laughed and ran off. Killing was satisfying and fun. I have no buddies. Nobody likes me anymore. Now I'll be unknown to all, even the alphas. But some did know me, so I killed those who did. I murdered all but one. The alpha Peck. Peck has been my friend when she wasn't an alpha. I was rich and rare, and we were best friends. However, she's supposed to become an alpha soon, so I gave all my gems, diamonds, and most of my rares and betas. I kept my current outfit. I wanted to help Peck out, and if she was to leave the alphas, she needed a good head start. Peck thanked me with a smile, and I never saw her again. Now, I kill whoever sees me. I take their items and diamonds and their coins and send them all to Peck. Unlucky jammers are sometimes put into the server called Unlisted, which is where I wait. Only one has made it out alive, and he's coming back tomorrow to take this journal. If he succeeds, I shall destroy this book. That is, if I can. Dawn is slowly coming, and the portal begins to glow. This jammer is a tiger, a yellow one with white underfur and blue stripes. He wears the rarest items in the game from each clothing category. I left many scars on him and poisoned him with my muddy, dirty, faded gazelle horns. He won't have long to live, but I will protect this book the best I can, and will even cut off the portal to Unlisted. I will live in Unlisted with nothing to kill. Unlisted is the future of Jama. The Phantoms will win, and Jama will turn to Unlisted. All the stores are closed, and every door and window is barred. The streets are covered in 2 inches of water. Every way you go traps you here. Flying animals are able to go to a barren wasteland that lays beyond Jama. Bones float through the water. Dawn is breaking through, and I fear this will be my first and last entry. Sincerely, Gone Till Dawn. Ooh. So that's chapter 1. Let's see what chapter 2 is all about. Oh. Story postponed. So they never continued it again. Of course. Our final story today is Scary and Weird Stories of Animal Jam by Tori 2016. Predictably, the story was also released in 2016. This person also explains that the reason that they put this in Animal Crossing instead of Animal Jam is because fanfiction.net does not have an Animal Jam section for some reason. They legitimately have a Bible section, but no Animal Jam section. Whatever that's about. Author's note. This is made up. This is not real. And if you get the creeps, I'm sorry. This is a horror. This is a lost horror romantic story. And the main character is Morning Swift Piano. Just rule 63. Change genders. I would love if you liked the story. Enjoy! It was a dusky evening. I got on my Animal Jam account, and I waited to my best friend, Spikeless Spike, to get on. In 20 minutes, she got on. I went to her den, and she was sitting down looking at me. She looked weird. Her fur was white, but stained with scarlet red. Her eyes were dark. Her eyes were black, and she cried with bloody tears. Spike? I asked. I went over to her, but she just did a crying face. Shh, she typed, not looking at me, not moving. What's wrong? I asked. Then my account logged off randomly, and I was creeped out. I got back in, but it was all black, and the blood-stained white Arctic fox with me, an orange fox. Spike, you give me the creeps. I bravely typed, and she went over to me. Calm down, my friend. And she mailed me something that said, for being my best friend. And I had a gift, her rarest item. You can't keep it. I wrote. Then she said, I'm dead. You can keep it. This is my last time on Animal Jam. I'll miss you so much, BFF. She said. Then she logged off. The next day I got on, looking at my buddy list. I went to my den. I sat down next to my Arctic wolf plushie and represented her because I missed her so much. I knew her in real life, and we were on since they created snow leopards. I miss you, Spike, I murmured to myself in real life. Then a ghost came in front of my fox. Spike, I wrote, running up to her. I'm on heaven. I can play here too. She typed, and I said, Spike, can I tell you something? I wrote, my fingers shaking. Yeah? She asked, coming up to me and sitting down next to me. I love you, I finally said, and she got a surprised face. I do too, she responded. Wait. I do too, she responded. And we had an endless relationship. I don't know, I think that was probably the spookiest one of all. So, I think that's enough spookiness for me today. I personally got the shivers all the way down my spine. So, happy Halloween. Hopefully this comes out on Halloween or the day before like I'm planning. If you liked it, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you hated it, why are you here? Bye! Either way, hope you, enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Or not. Either way, bye!